Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. Welcome back to another Business Talks. I am your host, Shawan Burns. We are going to get into it. You guys, and you got to follow me here. I found this video online, actually on Twitter yesterday when I was scrolling, trying to do some investigation on our topic for today. And you got to follow me. Now, this video, this is on the south side of Chicago somewhere. And I'll do a little interpretation for you for those who do not speak Ebonics because it's kind of hard to follow. So I'll do some interpretation. I'll do the best to my ability, but I'm gonna let's roll this clip for you. Now, if you could hear her, she's saying on my baby head. That's basically, you know how you put your hands on the Bible and you swear, and you swear if you're in court, you swear to tell the truth, the honest truth. So help me God. So a lot of times when Black people dare someone to do something, we'll say, I put that on my mama, I put that on my daddy. More likely it's not, I put that on my daddy. Well, anyway, more likely you won't hear, I put that on my daddy. It will be, I put that on my son, I put that on my kid's life. But apparently this young lady, she has a baby and she's saying, I put that on my baby. Whatever the confrontation is, we don't know what she's saying to this other lady, but she's going to put it on her baby. So she says she's not going to move. She's going to drag the girl out the car. That's what she's saying. And I forgot to forewarn you, this clip has a lot of cussing in it. Hey, we lock out, right? Damn! She flipped the whole truck. So they calling her dumb and all that stuff, and they calling her some swear cuss words. But I want you guys to look at what happened. If you could see this, look what happened. This lady flipped her car over. Okay, she flipped this car over, and whoever's recording it, they're going to, you know. And look at this. She gets out the car saying, ha, 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 like a crazy lady. Like, who does that? Who flips their car and get out the car and say, ha, 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 ha. Now, and everybody's saying she's dumb and all that stuff. So she totaled that car. She flipped it over. She hit this other car. So somebody's saying she's black racist, you know, they called her the B word. But can you guys tell me, apparently this particular road is racist. This road right here, that it caused her to flip her car over. That road must be racist, because how did this black woman flip over her car? We already saw that the roads are racist. We proved that fact because this girl flipped over her car because the roads was out to get her. They don't like black people. They do not like black people, because that's what Pete Buttigieg wants you to believe in Al Sharpton.
Deserves more attention, which is why I'm working to bring more attention.
Two of the big concerns at this convention that came up that you addressed head on is the disparity in road fatalities. A lot of people don't understand, even down to road fatalities, it's not equal.
That's right.
And it's something that you took on at this convention and you've taken on. Tell us about.
Let's agree that Al Sharpton is the race pimp of the United States. Let's agree upon that. We're saying Al Sharpton is the pimp of race hustling. He's a race hustling pimp. I mean, he latches on anything that they could say is about race. Is
one of the big concerns at this convention that came up that you addressed head on is the disparity in road fatalities. A lot of people don't understand, even down to road fatalities, it's not equal.
That's right.
And it's something that you took on at this convention and you've taken on. Tell us about your concerns and the steps we're taking to try and deal with that, because that's a major, major problem.
It is, and it's something that deserves more attention, which is why I'm working to bring more attention to it. We've got a crisis when it comes to roadway fatalities in America. We lose about 40,000 people every year. It's a level that's comparable to gun violence. And we see a lot of racial disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination, related to even the ways that roads are designed and built. Who has access to a safe street design?
Look at this guy's face.
It's got crosswalks and good lighting.
This guy face
who doesn't have that access.
Real serious.
That can drive disparities. And we have a response, a safe street design that's got crosswalks and good lighting.
This is so ridiculous. If I haven't heard the most ridiculous thing, but what the problem is, this is a problem. I guess they think that Black people can't read, and Black people get all up in arms that we're so unintelligently that we're not going to research and really think logically that to actually look into this. He said racial disparities, you're more likely to get killed as a pedestrian and on the road because you're Black. Let's rewind it.
Who doesn't have that access? That can drive related to discrimination, related to Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination, related to even the ways that roads are designed and built.
He said that you are more likely to be hit by a car or to die in a car crash because of racial discrimination. Did you guys hear that? That's what he said. He's saying that you as a Black person with a disability are more likely to get killed on the road because you're Black. And because the way the roads are designed, they are designed to kill Black people.
TurboTax makes it easy to get my taxes done, even when my situation changes.
To me, that's totally ridiculous. And they don't want you to be smart enough to actually look this shit up. They don't want you to be smart enough to actually look this shit up. It's like, are you serious? Let's keep on going.
And We see a lot of racial disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination, related to even the ways that roads are designed and built. Who has access to a safe street design that's got crosswalks and good lighting? Who doesn't have that access? That can drive disparities, and we have a responsibility to act on that.
So that's what they're saying. They call it racial disparities. Continue to be focused on for Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, according to the recent appearance on MSNBC Politics Nation on Saturday. A lot of people don't understand, even down to road fatalities, it is not equal. I'm lost for words. I'm just lost for words. I don't even know what to say about this, because I can't believe they're even in the transportation department, they're saying race is an issue. They didn't even say nothing about employment. They're saying race is an issue because the way the roads are designed. Now, who is responsible for the safetiness of your roads? Now, you could say, oh, because it goes to the tax dollars, whatever tax dollars are in that area, that's what funds the road, and which you are correct, but it's actually the tax dollars from the actual vehicle, like gas, vehicle tax dollars. So if you got a gas station, you probably have some money allocated in your community towards those roads. And they do it on like a weight-based system. And usually, like in Michigan, the tax dollars that's funded or that's supplied or accumulated, the federal dollars are matched. So Michigan, if they accumulated $2 million in roads or taxes from the gas, they then go to the federal government and say, hey, we accumulated $2 million. We want you to match our dollars. Now, that's in Michigan, and I'm pretty sure it's the same on every other in every other state. Now, as far as street lights and roads that's paved and have sidewalks and all that stuff, that's basically up to the actual citizens. So say, for instance, there's a street down the street from the school that I drop my kids off of. And my son, he's about to be, well, he's a fourth grader, but he's about to be in fifth grade. And we've been living over here for 10 years. That street have not been paved. They've done development over there. They have $200,000 to $300,000 homes over there. Some are even more. But that road has never been paved. And it's about a 2-block stretch. Now, so who's responsible for that? Now, of course, we could say the city. Yes, it is. The city is responsible. They have to put it on the city planning. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I want people to realize the system that is in place that your local government is supposed to follow. So if you don't have proper lighting, proper sidewalks, proper roads, it's because of your local government, or you haven't made enough noise. to your local government. In my subdivision, and I live in a subdivision, there's no through streets to a major road. You either come in here because you live in here, or you leave out and you go to the major road. And I'm saying that is because you could travel on this common knowledge. If you pass the driver, if you know how to properly operate a motor vehicle, you know to drive at 20 or 25, I think the 25 miles per hour in a residential zone. That's common knowledge. If you pass the driving test, you should know that. If you don't know that, you can always go up to your Secretary of State and get the driver's manual, and they'll tell you, or look it up on your state's website under the transportation. So anyway, that's common knowledge. If we were to have a lot of accidents where kids are getting ran over and dogs are getting ran over in our our community, what we then would go to is our HOA and say, hey, we need a speed bump. So in turn, like they have these districts in the city, oh, there's always a kid getting hit by a car because there's no stop sign. You petition to your local, I think they have aldermans or something, like the district. You petition to your district and they'll put a sign out there. But how can we say roads are racist? But this is what they want you to believe. This is what they want you to believe. Now they're saying, hey, fatalities. Now this screen that I'm pulling up, I'll get to some of your comments. I'm going to pull up the FARS data. Now, this FARS data basically says who's getting killed and why they're getting killed. And you know one thing that they do not do? You guys take a wild guess. One thing they do not do on this FARS data is they do not break it down to race. They don't even take it into consideration. This is from 2020. Let's see what total. Yeah, 38. I think they do have 2021 data out on another website. And if you look it up, it's about maybe 40,000. So maybe he's pulling data from, I think he said 40,000 or 44,000 that gets killed. So, but anyway, as I was saying, they don't talk about, they give you a summary, trends. They talk about trends. You see the trend is going up, more cars on the road probably. More people are driving. So of course the trends is going up. They talk about people, but what type of people do they talk about? Do they talk about the non-disparaging group, black and brown people, people of color? Do they break it down? No, they don't. So how can we say roads are racist? They don't even break it down. So where is he getting his data from? Persons killed. Driver, passenger, motorcyclists, pedestrians, bicyclists, a total of 38,000 or 39,000 for 2020. Then they break it down in age. They break it down in age. The age group, and it's everywhere. We can't say it's age discrimination. However, we can definitely say it is sex discrimination. Men are more times likely to get killed in a car crash than women. Why is that? They need to change it, change the narrative. The roads are sexist. The roads are sexist, not racist. The roads are sexist. The roads do not like men. They didn't break it down if it's a gay man or transgender man. They didn't put that on there. But all we know, the roads do not like men because they're 10 times or 3 times more likely to get killed in a car crash than a woman. Why is that? Logically, men take more risks. Duh. Okay. But did they break it down on race? We don't see any race in here. So how does he know? Now they got this new map features are enabled for this report for years in 2001 and onwards. Please click on the individual counts to display the crashes on the map. Okay. So let's see. It looked pretty red to me. I can't tell if the roads is racist. I really can't tell because it's red everywhere. I don't see, if we zoom in, I don't see where the roads are racist. Of course, highly populated areas are going to have more car crash because they have more people there, right? You got people, and these are all on the interstate. It looks like a whole bunch of interstate accidents in the highways. So how can we say the roads are racist? Did we prove that the roads was racist? Otherwise, other than that other video, did we prove that the roads was racist? I don't think we proved that. So like I said, we're going to tell the truth here. And Pete, you're not telling the truth. You're trying to incite people and cause another uproar about the roads being racist now. And Al Sharpton is going to ride that train till he can't ride it no more. Let me know what you think about that. Put that in the comment section. I'm done talking about it because to me, it's just flat out ridiculous. I don't know where they're coming from with the roads being racist. And then we know where those tax dollars at. If you got a gas station, you know, and they didn't fix your roads in your area, you need to petition with your local government and ask them what they're doing with those tax dollars that they collected from the gas money. That's what you really need to do. Okay. So this gets to my next topic. Well, not really. It's not a real segue, but my next topic, I want to talk about the guy that was killed. Can you hear me now, Joseph? I'm sorry. Messing up, can't hear you. I'm sorry. And I talk loud too, so can you hear me now? So maybe I'm screaming. So when I do download the stream, I'll probably take down the volume a notch. Anyway, so roads are racist. That's one thing they want you to believe. Frank said, or Freddie said, meth is a bad. Let me schedule on design. Meth is a bad drug. Yeah. Meth is a bad drug. You got more Europeans that call themselves white that got killed more than black people. Yeah. The roads are not racist, you guys. And we already proved that. Even though that girl was acting up at the beginning of the video, the roads is not racist. But the Democratic Party they want you to believe there's another racial disparity and white supremacy is out to get you. They don't want you to have cars anymore. So on our next topic that we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about the Cash App guy. The Cash App guy that was killed, I believe last week or the week before last. And I end up searching searching about San Francisco. San Francisco is going through some turmoil as well. Now, this is from BBC. It's not really inclusive. I tried to find the other article that I was reading about Bob Lee. So the Cash App founder, his name is Bob Lee. And he founded Cash App and worked for Mobile Coin. And it says that police have arrested a self-described tech entrepreneur over a fatal stabbing in San Francisco of Cash App founder Bob Lee. The suspect is 38-year-old Nima Momini from Emerville, California. Mr. Lee and Momini knew each other, the police said. Now, on some reports, some news articles, you guys could look it up. It's saying they went to college together. And I believe Bob Lee was dating Mr. Momini's sister. Okay. So, and they're saying the police found Mr. Lee, 43, unconscious with stab wounds on April 4th near San Francisco City Center. He died in the hospital because of his injuries. In the news conference, the police said they arrested Momini and he's now being charged with murder. And they go back to his prior criminal record, but they're saying they were all like misdemeanors. He got caught with drunk driving and all that stuff. He got caught with carrying a switchblade, which is a misdemeanor. He took the plea deal. But before the victim got killed, Bob Lee was killed, they show on the CCTV footage that Mr. Lee was walking down a deserted highway, seemingly looking for help. He is seen stumbling towards the parked car and lifting up his shirt to reveal his wound, but the vehicles drive off before the tech entrepreneur falls to the ground. Police found Lee unconscious in Rincon Hill neighborhood and with 2 stab wounds. So one thing that they noted in this article that it ignited criticism against authorities in San Francisco for their response to the city's violent crime. The San Francisco city violent crime. It's everywhere. It's taking over these major cities. Violence. is taking over these major cities, these progressive ran cities, these democratic policy cities. They're taking over. And reason why they're taking over is because we as a people keep on electing the same type of officials wanting change, and they don't give us change. They give us the same thing. We elect the same type of people, and they give us the same thing. And we further go deep into this craziness, this unlawful craziness. So and this is Fox News. I guess this is called The Five. I never watched this before, but I wanted to highlight this article or this video because it is talking about how San Francisco is so bad that Whole Foods decided to leave. Whole Foods said, to hell with San Francisco. San Francisco, the city of rainbows and unicorns. Everybody know about their policy. They decided to leave. Then they ain't with it. So let's
at its flagship location in downtown San Francisco. This just 1 year after opening the store. That's out of concern for the safety of their workers. The store plagued by rampant drug use, thieves looting all the shopping bags.
I don't know if you guys could see this thing that they showing down here. Some guys breaking into a car. It's a Mustang, a drop top Mustang, and they breaking their windows.
Baskets. Sadly, it comes as no shock. San Francisco spiraling out of control. Judge, I think that one of the things, we're talking generational today, it seems. One of the things that's changed is that the old social contract has been broken now. You would never see brazen thieves in previous years where it's shameless going in, 5, 10, 15 of them, roughing up innocent storekeepers, but stealing stuff in a way. I mean, there was always shoplifting and this and that, but the fact that they just reject the rules utterly of civilization.
Gerardo, I think that's the guy's name is. He's saying they reject the rules of utterly civilization. No, there are no rules in these cities. There are no rules. You're allowed to riot and steal from people or steal from these stores or whoever or beat people up because there are no rules. They're saying, oh, let people, it's a freedom of expression. Let these people do. If they're Black, oh, they're just getting their reparations. They don't know any better. You should be personally offended when someone says, oh, Black people can't control themselves. You should be utterly offended on that narrative. We don't have any rules. We just run around like a bunch of wild animals. You should be offended because that's what they're saying.
I think the operative word was shame, and it's shameful. They have no shame. They have no dignity. They have no shame. They're not worried about it. There's a sense of entitlement. That work ethic that we had in a generation before, or whatever one you want to attribute to, is gone. I'm entitled, and you got to pay me. It's the life of Julia during the Obama years. The government comes in and takes care of you. But look, in terms of this particular segment, I've been saying for years that law enforcement determines the success of a particular area. If you've got crime running rampant, whether it's in the 90s when I was a DA, in the 2000s when I was a DA, then it is impossible for you to maintain a business or the value of your home. Forget about the safety of your children. And that's where we are right now. And most people were like-minded. Most people believe that we did, but everything is upside down. It's like this evil is spreading across the country. And it's like this, social justice, this woke warriors,
And this is not social justice. This might be woke warrior, but this is not social justice. When you break into your neighborhood corner store and that neighborhood corner store owner lives in your neighborhood, is that social justice?
The bottom line is people are being shot, stabbed, beaten, brutalized. Thieves are taking whatever they want, and nobody's doing anything about it. And that's why this store, the Whole Foods in San Francisco, is closing. If they were too stupid to figure that out and they opened a year ago, well, shame on them. And they even sold the baskets, by the way. They're stealing the baskets from the store. So all in all, what we've got is a society where there are no consequences. You can thank the Democrats for it. I don't care what anybody says. It's in the big Democrat cities. In San Francisco, they've got, open air drug markets, and they fornicate and they defecate and they do everything in front of our kids. I'm sorry.
And they say they fornicate, they defecate, they do drugs in front of our kids. A few years ago, they had where you could get a job and you were a sanitation worker. And this is in San Francisco. You could get a job making $80,000 to $90,000 a year, picking up shit from the streets. I'm not even, I'm not making it up. This was an actual job position that you could get a job picking up shit on the street. Are you guys listening? This was an actual position. They probably still got it out, but you were like a sanitation shit engineer. Because they got so much homeless. Now, this was years ago. This is probably like 4 or 5 years before the pandemic. This was before the pandemic in San Francisco because they had so much homelessness in San Francisco that people were shitting on the street. And they actually put positions out there, trying to get people to apply or take these positions. Let's move forward.
The different.
And by the way, I didn't watch this whole video.
This is caught on tape also. Like the Bob Lee, the app guy.
Yep, stabbed.
He's dying. He's dead on his feet, and you watch him, and then you watch him finally ultimately collapse. I mean, my God, how can this be where we are at now?
The San Francisco voters don't care, Geraldo. They can control their own destiny. They vote for this garbage election after election after election.
Well, they did throw out the DA.
So what? They still have the stupid board of supervisors who wants to fund reparations instead of the police. And the media is broken, too. The media doesn't even ask Gavin Newsom.
Right.
The flagship Whole Foods store has shut down in San Francisco. Instead, they ask him about some city in Florida. I mean, what about Nancy? No one asks Nancy. Her own city's falling apart. And no one asks her about that. They ask about Trump. This city is disgusting. But the voters control this.
New York City?
No, we're talking about San Francisco. And now they...
Geraldo, I need you to catch up. Oh, were we talking about New York City? What? We've been talking about the same city since y'all started. What are you talking about?
They can't have organic rhubarb. They cannot have fair trade coconuts. And that's what they wanted, and now they can't have it. I don't feel bad for them.
What they can have, Dana, is fentanyl. And I think that has changed worse and aggravated everything.
Well, Jesse brings up Newsom, and that's what I was going to say, that so he was the mayor there and he's the governor now. And from a legal, I would even imagine if you're the governor and you watch one of the jewels of America going into a death spiral and you go to Mississippi to campaign for your Democratic governor.
Yeah, it's weird.
Or you sit in Florida and you clap your hands like this while your city is deteriorating. You have businesses like Whole Foods that say, We moved in here a year ago. Imagine what sort of incentives they were given by the city. Like, please come, we need you. And they decided, probably against their better judgment, they went ahead and did it. And now you have that business leaving. How many jobs does that take with them? And so now you'll have a continuation of the problem. But where is Gavin Newsom? Why isn't there a takeover of San Francisco? Why is that something that he
It
would
may come
consider?
to that. It may come to that.
Well, at what point? After all
How
the businesses leave and all the taxpayers leave, and then you have this city that we all used to love that is now just a terrible place where all the Kates are happening.
Yep.
But in that regard, Greg, you have
They don't care. The people that's gonna leave are, like she said, the taxpayers, and the people that's gonna stay are the ones that are gonna ran through or loot, riot, steal, kill, destroy everything. And then they're going to move on to the next city. Did you hear me? They're going to move on to the next city. Because there's nothing to steal no more. So y'all better be prepared.
One of the worst aspects is you have the kids destroying the services. Their moms and dads now are the ones deprived. They're the ones who have to, exert extra time and energy and money to do the necessaries. I look at Minneapolis. I mean, it's just once, or Baltimore. We covered Freddie Gray in 2015. The cities are losing their essence. And we're watching it happen.
There's a big difference with San Francisco because Whole Foods isn't in a bad neighborhood. It's on Market Street. That's their main street. The Cash App guy, what was his Bob Lee. That was Pelosi's district. And remember, her own husband was stabbed or beaten in her house. I mean, she knows crime. She knows this intimately.
Well, and then another thing I want to say about crime is unpunishable. You could in California, you could break into somebody's house, and if you actually shoot the person, they could actually litigate you to sue you because you shot them, and they were an intruder. So not only the laws are set up to protect the criminals, they're not set up to protect you. They're only set up to protect the criminals and people that are so stupid to vote these certain things into or certain people that pass these laws.
Right? And it's as though it doesn't resonate. But this is not like Chicago where all the crime is concentrated in one area and it's gangs. It's all over San Francisco.
So why is Nancy Pelosi?
And he's wrong about that. Chicago, yeah, they got pockets and concentrated in something, but downtown Chicago that's not concentrated. That downtown Chicago is very nice.
Not saying.
I have no idea. All I know is it's the fault of the city's politicians. I think it's the fault of the media who look at this kind of crime as a local issue. Somebody's watching this right now. It's like, what do I care about San Francisco? Why do I care about that? And so, but you know what is a national story? The reparations story or trans. But crime isn't like if you talk. Other producers at other networks have said as much, that crime is a local story. So you don't hear about it, and suddenly it explodes when we were talking about it for years, and nobody else talked about it. Then there are the insurance companies that are basically telling you just stay out of it, just let these people rip you off. So I think the solution is almost what you said, Geraldo, in the previous thing. You got to let these cities die so they can be reborn. Because right now, the lunatics running the asylum haven't exhausted their lunacy. And the people, the elites, they're fortressed. Just
briefly, London Breeze says the problem, they can't find cops. They can't get cops. Without cops, you have no thin blue line.
She defunded them, $120 million she cut, and they're being trashed anyway.
There you have it, folks. Defund the police. Then you have tyranny across your city. And you should care. Reason why you should care, because they own a city near you, okay? They'll be here next. So that's why you should care. That's exactly why you should care. It's a city near you. I got one more last video to show you guys before I get offline. Well, actually, two things I want to show you. This is in Compton. This just happened. And we talking about crime sweeping across the nation. This is what they're doing.
To illegal racing and break-ins at businesses. There is a lot of damage there this morning.
Police received hundreds of calls from panicked people as the destruction took place over the weekend. NBC4's Lauren Coronado is live in Compton with more on this story. Lauren.
Lynette, Adrian, good morning. One of those calls you talk about actually came from this intersection here in Compton. A lot of people concerned with those takeovers, and this Arco behind me was ransacked. It was caught on camera, but first, hear from one neighbor who says he's had enough.
It made me angry when they do that to the streets and put everybody in endangerment, so I don't like it.
Why they always find somebody they can't talk? But anyway.
Donuts, street racing, and dangerous car stunts overnight Saturday. Reckless drivers took over intersections like the one we're at now on the corner of West Alondra Boulevard and South Central Avenue here in Compton. The LA County Sheriff's Department says they received hundreds of calls over the weekend from people reporting those dangerous maneuvers all over the city. And people involved in the chaos didn't stop there. Dozens vandalized businesses, stealing everything in sight. Take a look.
Now this business is closed. They're closed for today. But no, they see something that they want, so they're gonna break in.
A mob of people rushing into Arco here in Compton, shattering windows, taking merchandise, and leaving a mess behind. A handful of other businesses were also hit, from a laundromat to restaurants. Business owners and employees disturbed and left dealing with the damage, and in many cases, thousands of dollars in damage, I should say. Now, no injuries were reported over the weekend. Also, no arrests were made, but like you saw, a lot of those folks were caught on camera. The Sheriff's Department says they're investigating. Reporting live here in Compton, I'm Lauren Coronado for Today in LA.
Are they actually going to arrest some people? Probably not. They're not arresting nobody. They're not going to arrest anybody. So that one article that we was talking about with Bob Lee, the Cash App guy that was murdered, on the bottom, they were comparing homicide rates. And it was interesting because these are the top 17 cities. Top 17 cities. The number of homicides per capita, 100,000 residents. So homicides per 100,000 residents, according to the local and FBI crime data. Guess how many times California is on there? 4. California is going, matter of fact, California needs to be excommunicated from the United States of America. We don't want California as a state. That's what they should petition. And then if they want to cross the border, they have to have a passport. If they want to go into these other states, they must have a passport. they must do a background check. You know, like what they do when you cross a border to another country. That's what they should. That's what they should do. So Oakland, LA, San Francisco, and San Jose are all cities that have the most murder. Now you do have St. Louis. We knew St. Louis was on there. Detroit, that's where I live at. We'll probably be talking about Detroit tomorrow. Philly, Milwaukee. Now, let me know if you see any Republican cities on here. Because you don't see no Republican cities on, because they ain't taking no shit. They ain't taking no shit. You're not going to come to that good old white neighborhood and mess stuff up. St. Louis, Detroit, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Chicago, Oakland. Oakland is California. Minneapolis. Minneapolis is Minnesota. Houston, Washington, Miami, Los Angeles, California, Austin. So Houston to Austin, they're on there. That's Texas. San Francisco, Seattle, Boston, New York, and San Jose. I'm surprised New York ain't further up the list. It probably is, because this is from 2021. So this is old. If you look at 2023, we probably have Chicago probably moved up. Portland's probably on there now, or maybe not, because Portland is not that large of a city. But these probably have changed. New York, I'm definitely sure that moved up. They not stopping crime. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they crime increased. Atlanta, I know they crime increased. So all these are Democratic ran cities. And then we talk about stuff that doesn't matter, like they were saying in that news report. They're talking about reparations. That get national news, national attention. But what gets local attention is crime. Why should you care about it? You should care about it because after they mess that city up, they're going to be at your city. If you close to that city, they'll probably be coming to your city, trying to mess stuff up for you and your family, trying to rob your business. So y'all better be prepared, and you better start caring about stuff. You know, it might not be in your city, but it does affect you. Anyway, so that was it. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Remember to share this channel. I always appreciate everybody. And you guys, I'm sending all my good to you. You guys have a good day.